You will be watching a portion of an episode from the TV series called The Prisoner, and the title of this episode is Dance of the Dead. Now you notice how everybody's dressed in stripes, and that might be because traditionally prisoners in prisons were dressed in stripes.
Invitation to the carnival tomorrow. It's one of our little traditions. Each year there's a fancy dress and a ball in the evening. We're promised a cabaret this year. You'll come?
I have a choice.
You do as you want.
As long as it's what you want.
As long as it is what the majority wants. We're democratic. In some ways.
So you just heard like a little commentary on the facade of a, quote, democratic society, whereby you give the impression to the people that they have freedom of their own desires, but yet the system controls those desires and tells the people what those desires are, and then gives them permission to have those desires fulfilled. And the black cat, well, that's another symbol that's going to be present in this particular episode, and that's a whole nother field of discussion. We'll leave that go.
Morning, my dears. No game is worth playing if you can't win. That's not very English, I know.
Are you English?
What you should do is find yourself a nice young lady for carnival. You're too independent. Now they're pretty and unattached.
But her.
Quite unsuitable.
I'm independent. Don't forget. Don't go.
I must.
There's a reason.
Reason?
Number 2 wants you to go. Or does she? Am I playing her game or yours?
Not mine.
Don't mind me. Go if you like. How long have you been here?
Questions are a burden to others. Answers a prison for oneself.
What did you do to have yourself brought here?
Questions are a burden.
And answers a prison for oneself.
I must...
Okay, now remember, those are the slogans that are in the Office of Labor Exchange. They're on the wall, on a like a billboard, telling you this is the way it is around here. If you get don't ask any questions, but just remember that your answers that you get are a prison for you. And in a way, that's what happened to me. I got answers. And I found out I'm in the village. In a way, I was more, how do I put it, carefree in a way when I was not awake. But now that I'm awake, I've got sort of like the burden of this whole system now that I know exists, and I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like Patrick McGowan. So I make videos and talk about it, and maybe you can identify. You live in it too. and you're aware of it, or you wouldn't be watching my videos. What do you do with yourself? How do you cope with it? Number 2 is suggesting to Patrick McGoohan. Number 6, find a girlfriend. Well, even the girlfriends are fixed and part of their plan and system.
Are you all right? You tried to go in. By mistake? It's fussy about who it lets in. This is the town hall.
Okay, so that was an interesting scene. It reminds me of kind of like some of the sci-fi movies and things that appeared in this era, where there was an invisible wall that was established by an electromagnetic type field, whereby he hit it and it sent a shock into him and didn't know it was there. So this series draws upon the same world of science fiction that was starting to make the people aware of this type of thing. That there's a lot of electrical currents that can flow through the air. And in this particular time, they're trying to show and demonstrate that it can be used almost like a confinement, an invisible wall. By the way, that does seem to illustrate the whole idea of my life and maybe your life. That we want to go into something, and instead of hitting a brick wall, as the phrase goes, we hit an invisible wall. You can't go down that road. You can't go in that building because it's been protected, what? By the Cabal system.
He tried to follow you. It's hardly my fault. Funny, though, you're being his observer. Remember, keep a sharp watch.
You know, she's called an observer. Sometimes you'll hear the term handler. It's somebody appointed over an individual to sort of rule and guide them along to be sure that they stay confined in the system and conform to the ways that the system wants them to conform. So here again we see the all-seeing society, the total surveillance, that no matter where number 6 goes, or Patrick McGoohan there in the black coat, he's under surveillance. And as somebody wrote in my comments section, there's 2 types of people. 1, those who know they're under surveillance. And 2, those who don't know that they're under surveillance. So
Turned up again, have you?
Have a good walk. Where did you find it?
I want to go back for just a minute to this spot here, right there, and I want you to look at the phones, that you have a red phone, a yellow phone, and a green phone. Or if you want to do it the opposite, you have the green, the yellow, and the red. Basically, that's a traffic light. And in a way, it's like saying there are three things that you can have. You can go proceed along with the crowd, or caution, or stop. Kind of like three commands. And so the whole surveillance system sort of has three options. You can give people the green light to just go with the flow, or they can be under the yellow, which is caution, observe them, or they can get the red, which is stop, Buster. So I thought that was interesting how they used those three colors.
Have a good walk.
Well, by the way, I don't know too much about it, but there's that map on the wall there. And while we're here, we might as well try to see if we can see it. Now, I'm not too sure about this particular map and exactly what it means or what it represents. If it's supposed to be a genuine map of the world, the earth, possibly. In my view, the earth is both a square and a circle, both. That it is a circle within a square, because the Bible talks about the four corners of the earth and the four winds of the four corners. But the Bible also talks about the earth as a circle. So if the earth is a circle within the squares, those portions of the earth that are not within the circle, such as these portions here, would be where there's ice. So that in any direction you go, north, south, east, or west, you're going to hit ice. Those are just my thoughts. Oh, and if you take another notice too, off to the right there is a lava lamp. Those were really big in the late 60s, mid to late 60s, lava lamps.
Where did you find it?
It found me.
You are not allowed animals. It's a rule.
Rules to which I am not subject.
I'll take it with me.
You might get scratched. Where does it come from? How does it get here? The milk, the ice cream, the potatoes and the aspirins. At night, when everyone's asleep. I've never seen a night that is sleep.
Okay, I want to pause right there. And the reason I'm pausing is they're demonstrating that in front of any television set, there's an electromagnetic field. And if you happen to notice, they use sound effects to demonstrate that to you. And that electromagnetic field is significant because it's where your eye is drawn when you are watching television. And once your eye is drawn into that electromagnetic field, you are subject to the flickering rate of a television set or of a screen. And the flicker rate is what puts you into a state of hypnosis. And it happens very quickly, especially now with the high definition television sets, which is why everything switched to high definition. Because high definition means higher and better state of hypnosis. Now I hope you could follow my logic. And one more thing I'll add to that is that when things were switching from just digital to high definition, the government was actually giving people converter type devices. When was the government ever interested in giving away anything related to a television set? Why was it necessary to make sure everybody switched over? Because the higher definition television produces far better results than just the good old-fashioned television sets like I grew up on.
Supposing I don't want any flowers.
Everybody has flowers for carnival tomorrow. Be seeing you.
Okay, that's sort of an individualism. Number 6, Patrick McGowan versus the guy, the florist guy, the delivery guy. Collectivism. Individualism versus collectivism. Suppose I don't want any flowers. Everybody has them. We're having carnival. Get with it. Stop being an individual. You're in the village.
Now drink it while it's hot.
What is it?
It's good for you.
Good for someone.
And be seeing you.
And you.
You know, once again, all the combinations of things. Drugs, if there's something in that drink. The black cat or black magic. Okay, and then some other thing is going to be introduced here in just a minute. And all these things are coming at people and they're just really not aware of it. What's happening, except for maybe you, because you're watching these videos and others on my channel or other channels like mine that want truth and want folks to know what's happened to them. Okay, so if the drugs are not going to work, something else is going to work. The flickering of the lights meant basically hypnosis through the flickering of lights. And back again to television. Television has a flicker rate to it. And that's what puts you in a state of hypnosis. Puts me in a state of hypnosis. Anyone. So now we're at the hospital. And we're going to get in on some of the inner workings there at the hospital with the mad scientist doctor and number 2.
You're late.
There's a lot to do.
Are you going in?
To make my report?
Does it concern me in number 6?
No. We'll overlook that and put it down to enthusiasm.
Oh, thank you. Oh, could you get me a directive about Dutton? He's being rather difficult.
Okay, now where she went into is going to figure in later at the end of this episode, because she's going to make a report. But who is she making a report to? We'll find out towards the end. once again, it's his flat, it's his apartment, and yet the doors are locked. And he's not in charge. Once again, you're under magic. You're under the power of the Prince of the Air. You're under the power of the powers and principalities. You're under the power of the demons and evil spirits. It's right in your apartment there, number 6. Don't think you can get away from it.
Sleep. 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 That's it.
Okay, now they're demonstrating the flicker rate of a television set. And you see it with just one light like that going on and off. But on your television set, there are myriads of little dots. They're going on and off that you're not aware of that actually form the picture that's in front of you. So it's hypnosis, and he's going to be once again under the power of hypnosis.
Sleep softly until tomorrow. Lovely, gentle sleep. And a lovely tomorrow.
Has he? Don't worry. It'll test our efficiency.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, that's Rover. Weather balloon is Rover, and Rover is kind of like the muscle of the village. And any attempts to escape or disobey or get violent, Rover will stop it.
He'll eventually go back to his room. It's the only place he can ever go.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. You saw that he discovered a corpse. Oh, and while I've stopped it right there, I might as well draw your attention to the, not the town crier, but to the one next to the town crier. Take a look at what he's got on his head. This is 1967. And some of the elderly in the village, when they're being wheeled around in their wheelchairs, they have something similar on. So nothing new under the sun, people. So we'll pick it up there with the town crier in the next portion of my videos. Thank you for watching. End of video.